Welcome back, and for this lecture we'll be discussing the equals method. Alright, so the equals method, it's similar to the toString method. It is a behavior inside the object class, which means all objects have access to it. Again, very similar to the toString method. And in most cases, this will be overwritten as well. The book talks about comparing the difference between this equals method and the equals sign, or the equal sign that you learned back in 2301, and I quickly want to talk about it as well. The equals method, this is where we're spelling out equals. We use that if we want to check if the contents of two objects are the same. Conversely, we will use the two equal signs if we want to check if the two objects refer to the same memory location. On the next slide, I have an illustration of what that looks like. So we have three strings. S1 is a string, S2 is a string, S3 is a string. They all equal hello. In this case, S1 and S2 both point to the same hello, whereas S3 it's its own separate hello. Now, if I did this in code, this is how it would be done. The first three lines accomplish what I just talked about. So string S1 equals new string hello. I set S2 to equal to what S1 points to, and then I create a new string object, S3, and made them equal to hello. Now, if I did a system printout of S1.equals, remember, this equals method is part of the object class. String is or inherits the object class. So S1.equals S2, that returns true. S1.equals S3, that returns true. And why? Because this equals method is checking to see if the contents of what the objects are pointing to, if they are equal. If we look down at the bottom of the code, when we do S1 and then a 2 equal sign, S2, that returns true. But look what happens when we do S1 equals S3. That returns false. And again, that is because S1 and S3 are pointing to two different memory locations. And in that case, the computer will respond with a false. And I have code just to demonstrate. So we're returning back to the main vehicle. I'm doing it here for no particular reason. Proper coding would have had this done elsewhere. But just to quickly get it done, I put it in the main vehicle class. So I'm not following proper abstraction, as you guys can see. But let's just get through this. So I have an equals example. So I'm pretty much just putting the same code as you guys saw in the PowerPoint. And if we run it, which I already did, so let me just clear this and we'll run it again. And I'm going to comment out those lines of code that we're not interested in. And when I run it, you guys can see the first printout is true, the second printout is true, third printout is true, but the fourth printout is false. So that is just example of the equal sign compared to, or sorry, the equal method compared to the equal when you're doing a comparison. So just make sure you understand that, and depending upon what you're doing in your code, doing the dot equals method may be the suitable way of going about it, or the equal sign may be the suitable way of going about it. Just make sure not to mix and match. If you mix and match thinking they'll do the same thing, in certain cases they would, but in other cases they may not, and that may lead to logical errors. So that will now conclude this lecture.